Hey guys, it's Alex again. We're going to get started with quarantine mobility yoga number 2, focusing more on the hips and lower body. So to begin, we'll start in this yogi squat. If this is hard for you, it takes a lot of ankle mobility to get down here, but you could roll up a towel or a couple of towels with some books and set them underneath your heels and then kind of sit onto those, coming up onto your toes, and just letting gravity work to pull you down here and open up that range of motion. So to start with, we'll just start with our neck rotations, taking it over, moving slow. Making sure to pull through that range of motion, switching directions. Good. Next, we're going to take the back of our left hand and place it along our back left ribs right here. Then looping that elbow in front of the left thigh to open up into the shoulder. Now from here, we're going to start with 5 knee extensions following the toe line and then 5 out to the side. So just extending, using our right arm to extend that right knee forward, finding some extension in the right side body. Good, and then pressing on the inside of the thigh will open it up to the outside. Good. Gently take that left arm out. Same thing on the right, taking the back of the right hand on the back right ribs and looping that elbow in front of the thigh. Look for our hip extensions. Good. And then out to the side. Good. Take that right arm out. Now we're going to alternate taking our knees in internal rotation all the way down, going side to side. If you need to put your hands down during this, that's perfectly okay. One more each side. Good, then we'll set our hips back and windshield wiper our knees over to the right, making sure our hips are kind of twisted towards the center still. Knees back up to center and then over to the other side. Just working side to side. Good, one more. Good. Take our strap, set it off to the side. Stand up and we're going to start some sun salutations. So inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, bending at the hips. Folding down. Taking a little bit longer on this one to let gravity kind of pull you. Warming up the hamstrings a little bit. Inhaling up halfway. Exhaling, planting the palms and stepping, hopping, or floating back into our plank. And from here we'll find our push-up, shifting our shoulders forward, using our toes to push our shoulders forward. And as we do that, we'll bend, coming all the way down. Bring it back up and dropping our knees, forearms, and sliding through to find our up dog. We're on the tops of our feet here. Try to stay on the tops of your feet as long as you can through our move back to down dog. So on our inhale, exhale, and bring our hips up and start pushing our hips back in space, finding our down dog. Now it's the first one, so we'll start pedaling into the feet, kind of waking up those hamstrings. Making sure to keep the breath nice and long and slow and deep. Good, we'll find some stillness here. Inhaling, lifting the heels, bending the knees, and we'll either step up, hop up, or float. Hands in between, or feet in between hands. Inhaling up halfway, exhaling all the way forward. Inhale, arms and gaze move up. Exhaling, squeeze everything in. Really pressing our hands together, activating through all the muscles of the body. And when we inhale this time, we'll move our thighs forward as we bring our chest up and finding just a little bit of a back bend here. And exhaling and bringing it forward. Inhaling up, exhaling, step, hop, or float back into plank. Good. In our plank, we want to remember to ground down through our pointer finger knuckles, rotating our elbow bellies forward as much as you can, and then think about pushing our spine up to the ceiling while we squeeze our hands in towards each other to find some activation in the chest. And I'm also squeezing my quads and my glutes and keeping my hips from dropping in like this. So I'm squeezing my core, everything's active here. And we'll take our shoulders forward, take our push up, send it back, and slide forward. Exhaling, keeping our toes down as long as we can. Good. Inhale, lift ankles, bend knees, step, hop, or float. Inhale up halfway, exhale, pull it in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, squeeze everything in. Inhale, finding a little bit of a back bend. Thighs forward, chest up. Exhale, folding it down. Inhale, up halfway. Exhaling, hopping it back into plank, really making sure that we set it up good. Good, bringing it forward for a push-up and sliding it through. Inhaling here and exhaling into down dog. Bend knees, lift heels, hop it up. Inhale up halfway, exhale, fold it in. Inhale up, exhale, squeeze it in. Now I'll take some time here, just kind of drop your hands, palms facing forward, close your eyes. Work on controlling your breath, so in and out through the nose, breathing deep into your belly, diaphragmic breath. Good. Bring it back to center on your mat. Do some sun salutation B's. So we'll start in the chair pose, inhaling up. Feet are close together. Sitting my hips back, bending as much as possible through the knees. Exhaling, fold and down. Using our pathway. Exhale, step hop or float it back. Come down for our push-up. Sit the knees down, forearms down, slide through. Bring it back. This time we'll inhale our right leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip up. Really extending through the left leg. And you can stay here, or we'll come up high into the toes and start taking it over, bringing our right toes down. Finding wild thing here. Really want to form a U shape in the side body here. Really extending up. And slowly we'll take that knee up. And turning. Squaring our hips and chest down. And then stepping our right leg forward. From here we'll drop our back knee. And inhale. Arms up. Really pushing our hips forward and down. Good. Bringing the arms down. We're going to take our right hand up and reach it back, grabbing for the right foot and pulling it in. If you can't reach your right foot from here, we'll take our strap, bring it around the foot and use that to pull the foot up. Whichever way you get there. We'll start by pulling the foot into the butt, and then we're going to use our quad to extend away and open the shoulder even more. Good. We'll release and take our hands down to center. We'll lift that left knee up and extend our hips back, really straightening out through the front leg. Good. Coming out of that, bending through that front leg again. We'll lift the leg up, let it hover for just a little bit, and then take it back into plank. Come forward for our push-up. Sit it back, knees down, forearms down, slide it through. Inhaling upward, exhaling downward. Inhaling, left leg up. Bend the knee and open the hip. This time we'll play with the same thing. So coming high up onto the right toes, getting light onto our left fingertips, turning so that we're on the outside edge of our right foot, bringing our toes down and opening up through the chest. Good. Coming of that, we'll lift our knee up as high as possible and start squaring our hips and chest down to the mat, and then stepping that left leg forward, dropping the back knee, and inhaling our arms up as we move our hips forward and down and our chest rotates up. Okay, dropping that right hand. Again, inhaling up, rotating through the chest and reaching back, grabbing for the foot or grabbing our strap in our hand and looping our foot in there to help pull it in. And first, we'll be pulling the toes in. Then we're going to use our quad, really activating to extend away and help us get some more length in the chest. Good, letting go of that. We'll lift our back knee and extend through that left leg. You can either keep your toes grounded or pull those toes up to your face. Whatever feels nice to you there. Good. Bring our hands back down. Lift up to the leg, let it hover. Good, step it back. Come down into our push-up. Really make a nice plank here. Knees and forearms drop. Slide through for upward. And bring it back. This time we'll bring our feet together. Either step up, hop up, or float up, but we'll keep our feet and knees together and land in chair. And we'll exhale, stand it up, hands to heart center. And on our next inhale, coming back through chair. See, you can head a little lower. Lifting the chest up a little more. Straightening out through the legs, bending at the hip. Inhale up halfway. Exhaling. Floating it back. Hitting our push-up. Sliding through for upward. Exhaling it back. Inhale that right leg up. Bend the knee and open the hip again. And come high up onto the left toes. Step it over behind us as we rotate our chest up. Good, taking it back, lifting that knee up. Really activating through the core to square everything off and stepping that foot forward. We'll drop that back knee again. Inhale, right arm up, rotating through the chest, reaching back to the foot, pulling it in, and then using the quad to extend out. Good. Letting go of that. We'll bring both of our hands down. Again, lift up through that back knee. We'll come onto the outer edges of both feet. So I'm kind of turning towards my right. I'm on the outer edge of my right foot and my left foot. My left quad is activated. And from here, I'm just going to drop my hip down to almost touch the mat. And then lift it all the way up for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, and 5. Good. Twist it back to center. And we'll extend our hips back in space, straighten out through the front leg. Good. Coming back forward, bending in that front knee, and then we'll lift that right leg up again, let it hover. And step it back into plank. Find our push-up. Slide it forward for upward. And scoot it back into downward. Now, same thing on our left side. Inhale. Left leg up. Bend the knee and open the hip. High up onto the right toes. Light onto the left fingertips. We'll take it onto the outside edge of that right foot as my toes land lightly, spinning the chest up to the sky. Good. Coming out of that, lifting that knee up. Really finding your stability here, and then stepping that foot up. Dropping the back knee, inhale, rotating up, and then grabbing for the foot. As you pull the foot in, this really helps you kind of work down onto the top of the quad instead of the knee, and you can get a little bit deeper into your hip flexor. And we'll extend the quad away, stretch it out into the shoulder and the neck. Go with that. We'll bring that right knee up, taking the hips over on the outside edge of both feet. So I'm facing towards my left this time. On the outside edge of my right foot, I'm really extended through my bottom leg. I'm going to drop my hips down and lift them up for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, hold it, and rotate back. We'll extend out through that front leg. Good. Bending to that front knee again, hands down. Lift that left leg up. Step it back. Push up. Send it forward for upward. And back to downward. And take some long, slow, deep breaths here. Extend up through the toes, bend at the knees, and we'll hop it up. Coming in a chair. Exhaling, extending up to standing, hands at heart center. Good. All right, now we're going to work on some standing balance stuff. Change that so y'all can see. We'll start first on the right side, bringing our foot up to meet the inside of our left thigh, and bringing our hands to heart center. It's important to find a place for your eyes to look at during this, and really concentrate on the breath. Then on your next inhale, we'll lift up through the arms and open. Good. Dropping the left hand to the hip. Right hand reaches for the foot and grabs either the big toe with the 2 fingers or the outside edge of the foot. And we'll extend that right foot forward, really pulling back on the shoulder. And then we'll open it up to the side. If you lose it, that's okay. Good. Coming out of that, stay on the same side, so raising our right knee up, hands up in front of the shoulders. We'll extend everything out in front of us. Or maybe not. Good. And then we'll rotate our hips forward, finding warrior 3 here, balancing on that left leg. Good, and coming up out of that, shake that left leg out. It's probably burning, I know mine is. And we'll switch our sides. And starting with the same thing. Left foot on the right inside thigh, hands at heart center. Use this time to try to control your breath again. Good. On your next inhale, we'll open up. Good. Dropping the right hand to the right hip, either grabbing for the toe or the outside edge of the foot. I'll extend that left leg forward. Then we'll slowly open it up to the side. Good, bringing it back in. Take our left knee up, hands in front of shoulders. Extend everything forward. Then rotating at the hips. Finding warrior 3 here. Hands can be back or at the heart or at the sides, however you find your comfort. And we'll come out of that, shaking out that right leg. For the next one, we'll take our right leg and cross it either at the hip in a standing lotus or just right above the knee, and we're going to squat down, finding the standing figure 4. Hands can come down for balance and support. And we'll work on bringing the hips down slowly to kind of sit on the back of that left ankle here. Now ankle isn't all the way down, I'm kind of up on my toes, which is perfectly okay. We're working into this ankle flexibility and the hip on the right side. Then we'll bring it back up just a tiny bit, enough to get our hands underneath us as we shelve our shin onto our triceps, and I'm hooking my left tricep with my toes. And from here, I'm just gonna scoot forward, lifting my back leg and extending it back into flying pigeon. And we'll take it back. Standing up, we'll find a good forward fold here with the right leg up. And inhaling, we'll come up all the way before switching our side. So we'll go for the left side, bringing it up either to lotus or figure four. Squatting down at the knee, bringing our hips down. Hanging out here for a bit before we bring our hips all the way down on top of that ankle. Trying to find some balance here. It's a really hard balance pose. Good. Coming up just a bit, same thing. Gonna work our arms a little bit. So I'm squeezing my elbows together. My left knee is on top of my left tricep, and my left toes are hooking around my my right triceps. As I shift forward, my weight becomes light on my back toes. Bringing it up, coming up out of that. Finding a nice forward fold here with the leg up. Inhaling, coming up, and shaking out through the legs. We'll come into a seated position. First, we'll take our legs out wide. Pulling the toes back actively towards the face. Inhaling our arms up. Exhaling, just bending forward at the hip as far as it'll let you go without bending the back. And wherever you get, that's fine. We're gonna hang out here for a little bit. Just remembering to breathe. If you feel like you can go deeper after a little bit, we'll inhale to make space, and then exhale, crawl the fingers forward to move into that space a little bit. And we'll gently walk our hands back. We're going to take our right hand across the belly. Inhale, left hand up. Twist our chest towards the left. As we exhale, we'll bend at the hip, bringing that hand over towards the right foot. Definitely take your time here on this one. you can start adjusting your shoulder blade in front of the leg, and always be twisting through your upper body so to try to get your chest pointed up and your gaze kind of underneath your armpit up towards the sky. Good. Slowly coming out of that, and we'll go for the other side. Left arm across the belly. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine, straighten that right arm up. Exhaling, we'll twist and start bending over towards the side. Making minor adjustments with each breath to get to your maximum range. Now in all these, especially forward folds and hamstring stretches, really with every stretch, you don't want to overdo it. So make sure that you're listening to your body and stopping right at that edge between sensation and pain. Good. Slowly come up out of that. Now from here, we're going to take our right heel in to whatever range you are. So if you have flexible hips, you can try to keep it at about 90 degrees. If you're a little less flexible, you want to pull that heel in closer to your hips. And then we're just going to turn our body towards our right knee and shift our left leg behind us and underneath us, walking the left toes back, bringing our hands on top of our right shin, inhaling up and getting tall to the spine, and we're just going to hang out here in pigeon with our chest up for a little bit. I think this helps work more into the front part of the lower abs and hip flexors and psoas a little bit better. Good. And we'll start folding at the hip. I'm leaving that in a shoulder stretch. So inhaling that left arm up, exhaling, threading it underneath the right armpit and walking those fingers out and trying to square our chest down to the floor to really stretch out through that left shoulder. Good. Taking the left arm out of there, coming up. We'll use our strap again, or just reaching back to the foot here, lifting our left foot up. If you have the strap, we'll again catch the foot in it, and then pulling our shoulder around and grabbing the strap with both hands, finding a nice arch in the back, and then using our quad again to extend away so that it opens our shoulders up. Good. Gently coming out of that. The other version of that, I don't have the shoulder flexibility for it, but sometimes to just work on the quad flexibility there, you'll reach around for the toes and grab Put your fingers on top of the toes and then bring your foot forward as you move your elbow around to really stretch into the quad. And quad flexibility is very important, especially if you do a lot of squats or a lot of running. You want to balance out through the hamstring and the quad with the flexibility so that there's not too much of an imbalance pulling on your knee. A lot of us just ignore the quads a lot, so the front of our knees gets really tight. Okay, we'll release that. Rotate our hips back through center, and then taking it on over to the left side. Scooting the right knee more to center and underneath us, and walking the right toes back. Hands come on top of the shin, and we will inhale, get tall through the spine, hands supporting us here. If your hips don't come all the way down in this position, please feel free to grab a pillow or two and put them underneath your hips to kind of support you here. Anything to support and let you kind of ease into this flexibility is going to help tremendously. You know, as I said before, having your leg more at a 90-degree angle is going to be, if your hips are already flexible, scooting that ankle down closer to the hip is really going to help you work into this practice here of pigeon pose. So again, kind of just find where you are, hang out here, really lifting up through the chest to stretch the front psoas and abs. And then our next exhale, we'll start walking the fingers forward. Inhaling, right arm up, exhaling, threading it underneath the left. Squaring the chest down to find that stretch in the shoulder. Good. Inhaling, coming out of that. Again, we'll take our strap, catch that back foot, pull it forward, grab the strap with both hands, walk our hands down the strap, and we'll start kicking away using our quad strength to open up through that shoulder girdle on both sides. You can play around with bringing your gaze up, opening up through the heart. And gently letting go of that. We'll play around a little bit with more of a quad focus on that. So reaching back for the foot, rotating the hand around to where my fingers are in front of my toes, and then just gently pushing down on the foot to stretch out through the quad here. And gently come out of that. We'll come down to a prone position here, just laying back. We'll start with our left leg extended out straight and our right leg extended up. Grabbing wherever you can on the leg, either the calf or the foot. And we're just going to twist over to the left. Trying to keep our right shoulder grounded and keeping our gaze looking past our right shoulder here for a nice spinal twist. Good. Gently coming out of that, keeping a hold of the foot or the calf. We'll bring it down into this half happy baby. Our knees opening up to the outside. And then we'll release, switching our legs. Again, grabbing for the calf or the foot. My right leg's extended out in front of me. I'll twist over to the right, keeping my left shoulder grounded and my gaze looking past my left shoulder. Take the left knee down towards the left armpit and circle it out here and extend it out. That's all I've got for you today. I hope that was useful. Just take the time for yourself today to thank yourself for taking care of yourself during this time of quarantine, being alone. Let me know if y'all want anything specific worked on, and I'll try to make something useful for you in your daily practice. Thank you.